Hello, everyone. My name is David Ruff, and I'm coming to you from Toronto, Canada. And we are going to have a doozy of a week because tomorrow they're going to be announcing whether or not they're going to be raising their rates. And what does this mean for you if you have a home? What does this mean for you for inflation? What does this mean for you being able to afford the things that you need to buy for your family? This, whether or not you like it, is going to affect you. So you got to kind of do it, right? Nobody likes taxes. But as an adult, you got to know about it, right? Same thing from the economic perspective. We got to know what is going to happen to you. This is what we're going to be talking about today. All right, guys, if we jump straight away into the article that we're going to talk about today. Now, this is about Canadians turning to credit cards for financial stress relief. Then we're going to talk about the interest rate that's going to be going up tomorrow. This article, you can go to cbc.ca and look up. Canadians are turning to credit cards for financial stress relief as debt is on the rise. This is very, very important. So it shows in the credit bureau that there's a 6.4% increase between quarter one and quarter two of rates that were going up. People are borrowing more and more money because they can't afford to live with the cost of everything going up and the wages staying flat. Now, this goes on to say that high inflation rates are driving up the cost of essentials. Consumers are putting purchases and small and large on their credit cards to alleviate some of the financial pressure. So there's also a report here from Equifax Canada. It said the practice is driving Canadians into debt as balances begin to outpace the ability to pay off their credit card. The report states that in the first quarter, credit card balances rose to their highest levels since the final quarter of 2019. That is before the pandemic, before all this rampant inflation took off everywhere. That's kind of tough. If we look at the consumer debt across provinces, Alberta leading the way, $25,000 of non-mortgage debt per person. Newfoundland's at 23,000, Saskatchewan's at 22, Prince Edward Island's at 22, British Columbia. They all seem to be hovering around 22. Canada's average is 21. Although Alberta is a little bit wonky at 25, Manitoba and Quebec are exceptionally low at 17 and 18,000. So consumers, it says, the article goes on, who have a low credit score and are already at risk of missing payments are among the most likely to have a shift in credit balance. Yeah. If they don't have any money, of course, they're the most likely to default on their payments. For those with a lower credit score than 620, there's a 16.2% chance percent increase in their credit balance since the second quarter of 2021. Also not a big surprise. The lower the amount of money that you have to spend on anything, the more you're borrowing, which makes sense. But this is what's weird. They said it's lots of people across all age groups, across all different types of credit risks, and across all different regions. Did you see that? Who is using your credit card? It is all peoples in all locations, in all different age groups, different credit scores. It's everybody. And it says all the while lenders are offering unprecedentedly higher credit rates. So high credit limits. So at the same time as everyone's borrowing more than they ever have, having a need to borrow more than they ever have, they're also lending more than they ever have. Man, that's like a very toxic way to look at things. Because it's just danger, 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 more risk on more risk on more risk. All right, so if we go to tradingeconomics.com, if you go to tradingeconomics.com, you could just go there and look up Canada's money supply, M2. And in money supply on trading economics, you'll see it is like a straight line vertical, like a ski hill going straight up. So even though they are saying that they are going to stop money printing, they're going to slow down inflation, they're not stopping the money printer. The money printer is going up. The only way that they're dealing with inflation is through what they call demand destruction. They're going to take all the money out of your pocket so you have nothing left to spend. It's not that the government isn't spending, it's on a straight line up. If you back it out to 5 years, also looks straight up. If you back it out to 10 years, also looks straight up. It doesn't matter how in or out you look, they just keep spending more and more and more. This is not a liberal thing. It's not a conservative thing. It's not a Republican or Democrat. They're all crappy. They're all bad at budgeting. They all spend more than they're supposed to. So there's isn't really anybody out there that runs on a platform saying, okay, everybody, we have to tighten the belts and do what we have to do. No one's going to run on that platform. They would never win. Everyone wants to be given stuff, right? So that's never going to happen. Anyway, this is what I think is going to be happening, because you got to be also looking at what's happening with the interest rate. And this is why I brought this up as well. The interest rate is going to be announced tomorrow at the Bank of Canada. The Bank of Canada is going to be announcing what? They all say either a 0.75, a 1, or 1.25. What's the point in having a crystal ball? Everyone keeps asking me, what is it going to be? I don't know. But all I know is it's going to be bad, a little bit worse, or a little bit worse. And regardless, they're still going to keep pushing this way until they get to 2%. This is what the Canadian government said. This is what the American government has said. Until inflation is down from 9 down to 2%, that is the time that they're going to stop. So I am shocked that they're going this hard at it. Honestly, they didn't have much choice though either, right? The government only has two choices. It can either, number one, print a lot of money, which they did, as you saw in 2020, 2021, huge inflation everywhere. Who does inflation hurt? The whole middle class, the whole lower class. But inflation benefits the richer class. Or they do austerity and they cut payments on everybody, right? Or they can push it into a recession where everybody is losing. And so who loses if they do a lot of cuts? A lot of people lose their jobs, terrible for them. And that's generally in the middle class and lower class as well. So what kind of choice is that? It's kind of like Sophie's choice. Do I destroy the economy through inflation, or do I destroy it through a bad recession? Hard to make that call, right? I don't like people to come to me with problems without having a solution. And so here's the thing. I don't know what the solution is. The solution is going to be bad either way. Here's the good thing is we live in Canada and the United States. We've got a lot of stuff here. It could be bad for a couple of years, but there's always light at the end of the tunnel where we can come out of it. But we just got to start doing things a more reasonable way. I really like Singapore. Singapore's philosophy is if we're going to borrow money, we're going to invest it in something that has a return. So they borrowed money, Singapore, and they bought a lot of stocks in the open market with it. But then they borrowed money to build a highway. Then they'll have a toll on the highway to get all their money back and then have a lasting benefit that's there. Now, we back in Canada and the United States, back in the 50s, 60s, 70s, early 70s, we were investing in education and infrastructure, things that had lasting benefits. Whereas today, we don't do that anymore. We spend mostly on different types of programs, and they essentially are buying votes. So we don't have a lasting benefit to that anymore. That's the kind of crazy part. Things have gotten out of hand as far as costs, absolutely out of hand. Every single year in Canada, United States, anytime that there's an election ever, what do we always look for? Whoever has the most money is the guy who wins. So why do we even need to do the charade? Why do we even have to have a whole voting system? Because it's just whoever has the most money wins. So where do we think that we're going to go? I think tomorrow it's going to be 0.75. That would be my guess. And if it goes up 0.75, you have to expect your home to drop 7.5%. If it goes up 0.75% tomorrow, the interest rate, your home will instantly lose 7.5% of its value in most of the homes in the Greater Toronto area, most of them. It's not the same across the country, but for sure here and the big markets, Montreal, Vancouver, they will drop. In addition to that, we're going to see more companies going under. They're going to be losing jobs. Layoffs are going to be coming more and more. And so even if they leave the rates where they are and don't touch them anymore, there's more and more damage as less and less people can wait out this storm. More and more clients are calling us and they tell me they got 3 months left, 4 months, 5 months. So how much savings do you have to weather an extra $2,000 a month here? Even the best of people only have a year. So even if they left the rates here for a year, there's going to be more and more damage that's going to be coming down the road. So my advice to you is be careful, my friends. I always try and tell you to be investing, always investing in all markets. Remember what I always say? I have a lot of videos on that, but invest a little bit in Ethereum and Bitcoin. Yes, you got to be doing that. Invest in a little bit of gold and silver. You got to be doing some of that. And also start investing in education, reading books like Tom Wheelwright. Tax-Free Wealth is his other book that's really, really good. So invest in those things right now and be prepared for next year to have some really good deals in real estate. I think there's going to become like great deals. If you're thinking of buying right now, I would not be buying. If you're thinking of selling, it might be a good idea. It really depends on your situation and where your home is. But likelihood, that is what I would be doing right now. Anyway, guys, I really appreciate it. If you know even one person that this would help, please just send out that video to them. I would really appreciate it. Please remember to like, follow, share along with me as I try to get this message out, try and save more people, and I'll catch you on the next video.